All right, in this lecture, we're going to learn how to create a grid or a contact sheet out of your images. First, we're going to start in Bridge to organize and output the files. And then we're going to end up in Photoshop to finish the file off. And we'll get to see through that process how Bridge and Photoshop are related and interconnected. Okay, so I'm going to be working off of my travel drive, assuming I've been out in the field taking pictures and I've collected some pictures in my working folder that I want to work on. So I'm going to come in here to JP Working, which is Jasper County. I do a lot of photography out there. And I'm going to go into my working images there. And I'm going to go into the output folder where they've been output. And I want the JPEGs because I want to output something for the web. And I'm just going to go ahead and select 8 images. And I'll select 1, let's see, 2, see which one, 3, I like that one, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh, let's see, one more. 8. There we go. Okay, so I've selected all 8 images, and I want them to all be the same size. So what I'm going to do is go to Camera Raw and hit this pinwheel icon that says Open in Camera Raw. And down at the bottom here, we get this film strip of our images, and that's really what we're focused on here. If you want to do some last minute adjustments over here, you can, but I'm just going to show you how to output them all at the same size. So select one image in the film strip, press Command A on your keyboard to highlight them all, and then go up here to this box with a down arrow in it, and click that, and we'll get our save settings in this dialog box. So all of these dialogues work the same. It's top to bottom, left to right, how you read the options kind of in order. And we're going to first select the location. So save in same location, we're going to save. We want to save it in that same JPEG folder that we were in. We're going to select the folder. We're going to create a new folder inside of that. So basically, wait, let's make sure we're in the same folder here. There, and JPEG Working, output, JPEGs, yeah, there we go. Okay, so inside of there, we're going to create a new folder. We're just going to call it grid underscore 01, and it's a good idea to use underscores instead of spaces in your names. Click create. You can see that folder there, and that's where we want the images to go. So select that. Then next in our options, we have the naming schema. And this is set correctly, but I just want to show you how. It's last name underscore module name underscore assignment name. So that's the naming schema we should use for the class. And then JPEG is the file extension. That's correct. We're publishing to web. And then metadata, we're going to use all of that. And then always make sure that the quality is set to maximum when using JPEG. Color space is sRGB. That's the proper color space for web output and viewing. 8 bits per channel. That's correct. And then sizing, we're going to use long side and 1500 according to our web specs. And then the resolution should be 72 pixels per inch. And we're going to sharpen for screen because that's our intended output. The standard amount is enough. So that all looks good. We're going to click Save. And then we're going to click Done. And to view that, Bridge kind of operates like a web browser. So you have to refresh your view in order to see it. So we're going to click View. And where is that? Let's see. Maybe I got that wrong under View. That's View, Refresh, yeah. View, Refresh. and we can see it now, grid 01. So we're going to click inside of there. And those are 8 images that we want to use. They're all named properly, so they all organize correctly. They all fall together the same way. And they're all the same size. And that's what we were looking to do. We accomplished that. So now we want to open these files in Photoshop. So we're going to select all of those. And we're going to go to Tools, Photoshop, Contact Sheet 2. Now we're making the leap over to Photoshop through Bridge. You don't have to leave Bridge to do that. And so we're going to use the images in Bridge, that's correct. And then down to the document, this relates to the document we're going to include them all in. So with regard to that, we're going to use inches, and we want to output, our final output should be an 8 by 10 piece of paper. And what the contact sheet wants to do is put all the images on that paper all the way out to the edge of the margin. And I don't like how that looks. I want to include a border around that. So I'm going to come in 1 inch from each side on the 8 by 10 piece of paper. So I'm going to say 9 by 7 for a landscape format. So instead of 10, I'm going to bring that one back 1 inch to 9. Instead of 8, I'm going to bring that back 1 inch to 7. And then 72 the resolution should match all of the files we're using. So that's all good. And then sRGB, again, that color space should match the color space for the files we're using. So that's all really important, to match the document to the pictures that you're going to include. So going down, across first is good. And then we're going to use 4 columns and 2 rows. Do not click rotate for best fit, because that's going to automatically override any kind of orientation that you've set up. So let's not do that. And down here, use file name as caption. We can do that. And there will be times when you want to do that to clarify which files are which. And I'm not going to do that here, but this is where you do it. And you can choose the font and the font type and the points. So that all looks good. So let's turn that off and click OK and let it do its thing. You can see on the right hand side over here all those layers that just like packed in all those images in layers. So it looks kind of funny because we got that one image that's portrait format and the rest are landscape. That's okay. But what we've got right now, you can see how the algorithm wrote all the images out to the edge of the picture. But this is on a 9 by 7 document. And we're going to expand that and put a border around it so that it looks nice on an 8 by 10 piece of paper. So we're going to use canvas size to do that. You can get there by clicking Option Command C on your keyboard, or you can go to Image Canvas Size. And we're going to expand that border by 1 inch, 1 and 1 on the width and height, and click OK. And it's going to look kind of funny there. It's going to have that checkered background, which is basically a transparent background is what it's telling you. And that's going to do what we need it to do, though. So we're just going to save that out. So you can do that by clicking Shift Command S on your keyboard, or going to File, Save As. So we're just going to use this, and you're going to say Save to Computer. And we're going to name it. Let's select JPEG first down here. And you're going to name it. We'll say grid _01. And this wants to save it to the downloads folder. But let's not do that. You can see in our recent places we've got grid 01 that we set up earlier. So let's select that. And the last thing we need to check is to make sure that the color profile of sRGB is embedded so that no other browser or program has the option to include some other color profile. So we're going to click Save. And always, when saving a JPEG, choose the maximum amount of quality. Click OK. And let's go back to Bridge. You can get there on a Mac by selecting Command Tab. And you can see that if you keep pressing Tab, you can scroll through all of the applications that are open right now. I'm going to go to Bridge. And we can see in that folder, here are all the images that we used to make the grid. And down here is the grid. That's kind of neat. All right. Thank you for watching.